Is this going to be Alex Cora's last season managing the Boston Red Sox? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. Right now, there is a ton of uncertainty surrounding the 2024 Red Sox and really the future of this team. Big ones being, what are the step-ups going to look like for guys like Brian Bayo, Tristan Casas, Jaron Duran, Wilyer Abreu, Masataka Yoshida in either their first season in Major League Baseball or their second full season in the league. There's questions surrounding the health of this team with guys like Trevor Story and Tyler O'Neill. Can they stay healthy enough to be legit impact players? You've got other things like, what does the camaraderie of this team look like? How does Andrew Bailey's effect on this Red Sox roster look like? You've got a ton of questions surrounding the Boston Red Sox, and to add to the pile of that, we don't know if Alex Cora is going to be the manager of this team past 2024. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break that down. We're going to talk about what is going on with Alex Cora's contract situation, whether or not it's a real possibility that he's not going to be here in 2024, and how that could impact the Boston Red Sox. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. This entire offseason has been clouded in the fact that the Red Sox are struggling to bring in legitimate, impactful free agents, right? That's what everyone is focusing on, but there are a bunch of these underlying sort of situations surrounding the Boston Red Sox. We talked about a couple in the intro, but the one we're focusing on today is the fact that the manager of the Red Sox is set to become a free agent after the 2024 season. And right now, we don't really have any information about what Alex Cora's future may hold. It's a complete mystery at this point. There are a couple of things we do know, though. From the ownership side of things, we know that the Red Sox ownership really likes Alex Cora. He's been the manager of the Boston Red Sox through 3 different chief baseball operators now, and that's not something a lot of other managers can say. Ownership clearly really values what Alex Cora can bring to the table, is the reason why they've held on to him for so long. However, it looks like this decision going forward is not going to be of the ownership's choice. It's going to be based on what the new chief baseball operator Craig Breslow wants to do. Sam Kennedy made that very clear during winter weekend when he was asked about Alex Cora's future. He had this to say: "I'm very optimistic that the relationship will continue to grow and lead to a place where Alex is around for a long time, assuming he wants to be here and assuming that's what Craig Breslow wants." That's Craig Breslow's decision. Leaving this decision up to Craig Breslow, who's new to the Boston Red Sox, is a really interesting choice, because what that means is Craig Breslow now has the opportunity to either hold on to the current manager or go after a different manager that he sees fit. And honestly, again, we don't really know what that direction's going to go. What we do know about the new chief baseball operator is that he's at least fond of who Alex Cora is. In an interview done on the Fenway Rundown podcast, Craig Breslow said, quote, "I think I'm very comfortable and confident saying that Alex is one of the best managers in the game. We're really lucky that he's the manager of the Red Sox. But does that mean he wants to bring him back after the 2024 season? Honestly, it doesn't, right? It does not indicate that Craig Breslow wants to bring him back past 2024. And when he was asked about a possible contract extension, again, on the Fenway Rundown podcast, he said, quote, "As it relates to his contract, we have conversations, and I think both he and I know those conversations take place between the two of us at the appropriate time. But I think we're comfortable with the relationship, and we're both prioritizing the work that we need to do to have as successful a 2024 season as we can." That's a really confusing sentence, but basically what I get from this personally is that Breslow wants to wait and see how their relationship develops. What does their relationship look like over an offseason? But almost more importantly, what does this relationship look like in in-game situations? How does it look over the course of a 162 game season, or over the course of a certain sample size where you're actually put into in-game situations? Because there's obviously a big difference between your relationship in the offseason and your relationship during the season. And right now, Craig Breslow doesn't really have an idea of what that could be. So when you're looking at this situation from an ownership side of things, again, it doesn't really clear anything up, right? We do know that ownership really values Alex Cora. We don't know what Craig Breslow's thinking and where Craig Breslow's head is at in terms of whether or not he comes back after 2024. But this isn't just about ownership, or this isn't just about the chief baseball Baseball operator. This decision is just as much about whether or not the Red Sox ownership and Craig Breslow want him back as it is about whether or not Alex Cora wants to be here on this team for the foreseeable future. And there are a couple of big factors that go into that. I think the big one right now is the fact that fellow manager Craig Counsell treated this offseason like a legitimate player free agency and ended up making an historical $8 million a year. Right now, Alex Cora is making about $2.75 million. We don't know the exact figure because that information is not public, but we can assume it's right around that number. Alex Cora is possibly looking at what Craig Counsell did and how he was able to do it and saying to himself, hey, if I bring myself to free agency, whether I end up on the Red Sox or not, I'm going to get a real big pay raise. That's a big part of this for sure. The other big part of this is that Alex Cora doesn't want to be a manager forever. He's been very publicly open about the fact that at some point he wants to try other roles within baseball, possibly in the front office, possibly in other places. He doesn't know where his next step is, but he knows he's not going to be a manager until he has to retire. What this means is that when he's looking at the Boston Red Sox, what does he see? The Red Sox have been pretty open about the fact that they're waiting until their young core, next core of prospects is up and ready to go to truly try and compete again in Major League Baseball. Is Alex Cora sitting there thinking to himself, hey, wait a second here. I'm not going to be a manager forever. I want to win. I want to manage competitive teams. Am I going to sit around and wait until these guys are ready to go? And I've wasted 2 or 3 years of my last 5 to 10 years managing just trying to get to this point. Or should I go and try and find a team where I can manage for the next 5 to 10 years that I know is going to be competitive from day one? It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Because when you look at it from an Alex Cora point of view, you're looking on one side, hey, I can make a lot of money in free agency. I can go to a legitimately competitive team. And for the last, again, 5-10 years of my managing life, I can be a competitor year in and year out. Or you look at the other side of things and Alex Cora is sitting there and he's saying, wait a second, I've been here through all of this. I was with the team when they were the best team in this league. I've been with this team since they've been rebuilding. Now I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I only have a few years left. I want to see this thing through. I want to be able to be the manager that allows these players to bring out their full potential, that allows these players to work together and really ushers in the next era of Red Sox baseball. It's a really tough decision for Alex Cora, and the question is, which direction is he going to go? There are a ton of really tough questions both Alex Cora and Craig Breslow have to ask themselves about this situation over the next few months. Personally, I do think there is a very real scenario where we are going into 2025 and the Red Sox have an entirely different manager, and it's understandable from both sides of this coin. The ownership side really doesn't play a factor in this unless they step in and tell Craig Breslow, hey, this is our guy, we need him here, sign a deal. If it's up to Craig Breslow, it does make a bit of sense why you'd want to wait this out a little bit. You are going to be working with this person for, I don't know, the next 4 years minimum based on the past few CBOs. If this is someone you are going to sign and be here through the entirety of your tenure with the Boston Red Sox, you're going to want to make sure that you have a trusting, well-rounded relationship and you're not going to be bashing heads for the next 4 years and making yourselves miserable. It makes sense to wait this out. It also makes sense for Alex Cora to wait this out. Craig Counsell is a prime example of what a manager like Alex Cora can make on the open market. If you're not going to be managing for a lot of years, you're going to want to make sure that the team that you are attached to is going to give you everything that you're looking for. And right now, is that the Boston Red Sox? I don't think he's sure, and I definitely am not sure that the Red Sox are going to be competitive over the next couple of years. So I'm sure that's weighing on both of their minds. Now, I think, in my opinion, if the Red Sox aren't able to get something done with Alex Cora by mid-season, say the All-Star break, say right after the All-Star break, there's a very real possibility Alex Cora walks. And I don't know if it's going to be because Craig Breslow doesn't want to put the effort in to bring him back, or if it's going to be because Alex Cora doesn't want to be here through the rest of this rebuild, or doesn't want to be be here for the rest of his managing experience. There are two different scenarios here, and I think both of them are valid, and I think either one of them could eventually cause Alex Cora leaving after the 2024 season. Personally, I would hate to lose Alex Cora. I don't always agree with his in-game decisions, and I know a lot of you guys had issues with how he managed the Red Sox pitching staff in 2023, but in my opinion, the biggest role of a manager in baseball isn't so much the in-game decisions as it is getting the most out of the players on your team. Alex Cora does an absolutely fantastic job of that. He's able to manage not only personalities, but also performance on the field as well over a full 162 season, and to me, that's the most important part of a manager, and that's why Craig Breslow regards him as one of the best managers in the game. That's why Alex Cora is going to be able to make something around what Craig Counsell was able to make in a free agent offering. And especially when you're looking at the Red Sox going forward, you're going to have a ton of young, moldable players coming up over the next couple of years that could be legitimate superstars. And I don't think there's a better candidate out there to mold these young players into these superstars, both on the field and off the field, besides Alex Cora. So in my opinion, if I'm Craig Breslow, I'm locking up Alex Cora as soon as I possibly can, which in my opinion would be spring training, right? You now have your team sort of set together. You're still looking at some different roster decisions, but overall, you're probably not bringing in any other big free agents. You're probably not making any other massive trades. Spring training would be the perfect time to sit down with Cora, have this conversation. Hey, here's what I'm thinking about our relationship over the next 3 or 4 years. What do you think about our relationship over the next 3 or 4 years? And again, if I'm Craig Breslow, I'm getting this done, but I think ultimately this decision is going to be up to Alex Cora. And if I'm Cora, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I'm going to say, hey, Craig, I think I like what you've done so far, but I don't know if this is going to be something where I want to stick around and see play out. I want to see how this season goes, and then we can talk about it once I'm a free agent. So I have absolutely no idea where Alex Cora is going after the 2024 season, if he's staying, if he's leaving. There could be a million different outcomes, but I really hope Alex Cora is with the Boston Red Sox for the foreseeable future, because despite my issues with his in-game situations, he is undoubtedly one of the best managers in the league. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Alex Cora is leaving after 2024? Or do you think it's going to be because of Alex Cora's decision or because of the front office's decision? And do you want Alex Cora to be here? Let me know all your thoughts on Alex Cora leaving in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.